don't play this deck. Whatever you do, don't look at this deck, think, hey, this is a good idea, and run home and build it. Because number one, you're not going to get your hands on Champions Festivals anytime soon. The instant I got a hold of 3 of those suckers, I was like, I'm going to build this deck, and then this turned out to be an absolutely horrible idea. I have no explanation for what my opponent has going on, but we have 2 really, really shitty decks on the field. At least I don't understand what my opponent's doing, but I have a very vague idea of what I'm doing, which is why I'm showing it off today. It is actually Palkia with Serperior, and it's got some other stuff dropped in there. So, you guys will see how it works as soon as I get everything going. It's going to take like 3/4 of the match before I actually hit a Prism Energy for my Palkia. But before then, I guess I might as well run it down. So, Virizion makes a nice starter. I can just double draw if I find myself stuck. And then it turns out that I do have a Snivy, I have a Rare Candy, I also have a Serperior in my hand. I have 2 Rare Candies, 2 Serperiors, but only 1 Snivy on the field. I definitely much rather would have preferred a another Snivy over that Virizion EX, just because I don't really think my opponent's going to be playing lasers. I see Lampant first off, and I'm like, okay, I don't know which one it's going to be. My first instinct is probably the Flare Navigate one. My second one is maybe the Flame Burst one. And then beyond that, I have no idea what he's doing. But I see 2 Litwicks. Whatever for now. I decide to Ultra Ball away some things. What am I even getting here? So I'm getting rid of a Virizion and I feel like I'm going to get rid of a Catcher. Am I getting rid of a... No, I'm getting rid of a Serperior just because I can plug it back in. But... get myself another Snivy, and a Rare Candy, the one on the bench, into a Serperior, which, if you're not familiar with its ability, it's Royal Heal, and between every turn, I get to heal 10 damage off of each of my Pokemon. So, I'm going to double draw right now, get some more cards going on in my hand, and I don't want to see Juniper right now. I don't want to be discarding Rare Candy or an Ultra Ball, but it turns out, I get End Out, so that's fine too. Looking at my hand, I'm probably only going to put the Palkia down, and then maybe End Out from there. So, Serperior heals a bunch of stuff. He plays Pokemon Center, which is a different healing card than the one I have. Mine is a little bit harder and not as rewarding. It's a little bit more... I don't know. I feel like Pokemon Center can be a little bit more situational, but I also could see the merit in working Pokemon Center as well. Because Palkia's first attack lets it pivot between bench Pokemon. So I showed off for a split second right there, but Strafe, its first attack for 3 colorless, you can switch his Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So you just attack and you get out of there. You can go back and forth between Palkias and use Pokemon Centers as a much cheaper alternative. I was also vaguely considering Beach, but my main idea was like, I kind of want to try Champions Festival in this deck and see how it works out and get an obscene amount of healing going on, because that's what this deck is about. I remember I tried doing that back in the day with Cresselia. Anytime I run into Garbodor, it just eats me right up because the healing stops. That's the main gimmick of the deck. Outside of that, the Pokemon have no merit whatsoever. They're just a bunch of bench sitters. So, I'm just now looking at his side of the field for a second time, and I'm noticing that he has a Chandelure, he has a Kyurem, Kyurem EX, the one from the new set, which has Outrage as its main attack, which is pretty cool. I kind of see what he's doing here, where he's using Flare Navigate to put more damage counters on himself, but he's got a Rock Guard too, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I also get a computer search off of this, which is pretty cool. I think what I might end up doing is attaching to the Snivy, retreating out to Virizion, and then I believe I may use my computer search, or I may shuffle it back in. I'm not 100%. I guess I'm getting rid of Juniper and Virizion. I honestly cannot decide. Am I getting a Champions Festival? I don't know what I'm getting with this computer search. I'm getting something just for the sake of using it. And looking at my play field, I decided Chorus Machine is a pretty nice thing to get, just because I can get myself an extra energy attachment onto my... one of my Palkias. And the second attack, I did not mention it. It takes 4 energy, but you heal off 20 damage for each plasma energy attached to it. So if you can get 4 on 1, I've been a fan of decks that just get all of your plasma energy onto one Pokemon, because Deoxys will only really attack in super scary situations like that. And it'll just wipe it out from there. But outside of Deoxys, don't really have to fear Mewtwo as much anymore. So loading all your energy on one Pokemon, I've been guilty of doing it. So What did I hit here? So I hit myself another Serperior, which means I'm healing 20 between turns. Palkia, if it uses its Dimension Heal, will heal off 40 off of itself. So the Palkia on the left, as soon as it's ready to attack, will be healing 80 damage total between the time it attacks and the time it comes back to my turn again. If I get another Plasma Energy on it, it'll be 100. And then if I get another one, it'll be 120. So it kind of gets to the point where you have to do an obscene amount of damage to Palkia. You have to chain the attacks. And then if I deem that the situation is too necessary, I'll just strafe out of there. I have no problem with forcing a catcher. So just outrageous onto Serperior just really doesn't do that much. Fortunately, I run Colress in this deck because I know my bench needs to be loaded. I am going to put a Grass Energy. Thank God Serperior is a very light Pokemon. It only takes 1 to retreat. I believe I'm going to look at my discard pile next to decide whether or not I want a Super Rod. It turns out I've got a decent amount of Grass Energy in there. So I'll just put it all back in there. And I believe I'm going to get rid of the Rock card. The fact that that is his A-Spec. Honestly, I'm just not worried about what my opponent's doing. I should have lost more games today. I don't know why I didn't. Legitimately, the only games I lost were against Darkrai Garbodor. Blastoise was a fantastic matchup. Virizion Genesect was an okay matchup. Plasma was a pretty good matchup as well because I resist Kyurem. And I was able to just heal off the splash damage, heal off any kind of damage. It's the main problem with me is it's kind of a slow setup. And a lot of other decks can take advantage of that. And that was in like 20 or so game tests. Every time I fought Darkrai, I lost. And that is why this deck is not that good in general. It's not the only reason, but it's a pretty damn good reason for why you definitely shouldn't be running this deck. I get End out. I don't like what I get End into. I mean, I get another Plasma Energy, but that means if I play it now, it'll waste my energy attachment for the turn, and then I'll probably have to Juniper into a Colress machine to get my other one attached, or I don't even know if I have the other one yet. But he's loading up a Moltres in the background. I'm just too busy paying attention to my stuff to worry about what he's doing, and it turns out I think he catched up my Palkia that didn't have any energy on it. So he hits me with an attack. I activate Champions Festival, which heals 10 damage from everything on my side of the field if I have a full bench going on. So that I do. The other thing I also run the risk of is Plasma variants with Absol. I'm surprised I did not run into an Absol the entire time I was playtesting this, but it's just something that just randomly occurred to me that could be very terrifying. So it would do like 120, and that's before any Deoxys is on my opponent's side of the field. So that would definitely give Palkia some trouble. But turns out the field's full, so if one of us can get a Colress, we'll draw 10 out of our decks, and that'll be a very, very powerful card. I don't even know what I did last turn. I guess I just attached the Grass Energy and got stuck. I was kind of hoping I'd draw into something better, but that's fine. The man is 2 Moltres and a Kyurem on his side of the field. Oh, man. The worst part is, like, against other decks, people... What was it? I fought against a guy that was using, like, a Laser Bank variant, and he stopped me in the middle of the game, and he asked, like, why aren't my Hypnotoxic lasers working? And naturally, I had a Virizion on the field, so I was like, okay. I don't think he's read the ability. But every time he would laser... And I also had another guy that tried to long-distance Hypnosis, and he hit himself a few times with it, where long-distance Hypnosis, if you flip a coin with Muna, if heads, your opponent is now asleep. If tails, you're now asleep. But he would never put me to sleep, even if he got heads, and he just didn't really process that either. So I fought a Ninetales, I fought Plasma, fought a little bit of Blastoise, fought a little bit of everything, and I was like, well, it's fun. I mean, if I can get at least one Serperior and one Palkia going, and I lose from that point, well, it's fine. It's been fun. So, Darkrai and Enhanced Hammer, I think, because those two go so commonly together, that's why I lose every time to Darkrai. But outside of that, it's freaking fantastic. Right now, I get hit with another Power Flame. I'm still healing off some more damage. I don't want to commit that, what is it, that third... Yeah, that third Plasma Energy to that one. I figure I'll just pivot out to this one, and then I'll just keep my healing on one Palkia, and that's absolutely fine, because if the other one gets captured up, I can just strafe back out. That's fine. But this Moltres, the one thing I'm worried about is its first attack, which its secondary effect acts like a Crushing Hammer. So if he decides randomly he wants to start going for that and gets rid of my Prism is the only way I have to attack with Dimension Heal because it acts as my water energy. But I'm going to put another Plasma Energy on there. Use his own Stadium against him, which actually kind of worked out a little better because I only have one Pokemon with damage on the bench. And it turns out I don't have enough to attack, so I'm actually just going to strafe, but I'm going to stay in the active spot because I know I can heal it off next turn. I need one more Prism Energy on my Palkia, my active Palkia, in order to start attacking with Dimension Heal. And then we'll be good to go. The thing I'm also worried about in the background is the 2 Kyurem EXs with Outrage. I forget what the base damage on Kyurem's Outrage is, but I have to play very carefully around it, because if I just Dimension Heal it twice straight up, I will probably die to the next Outrage and lose everything I've been working for. So I'll have to strafe a couple of times, and then I'll have to knock it out. But Palkia on the bench is all healed up, and I'm just going to knock this thing out with a Dimension Heal and heal off all the damage on me. So it took quite a number of turns. In fact, it got to the point, because he captured up that Palkia, I don't have the room for switches in this deck, because everything's either A, light, B, I can heal off like Sleep, or C, I can just get the Palkias going with Strafe, and then we're fine. So, yeah, that's why I don't run Switch. So it came out to be kind of a weird situation right there. But right here, I'm just going to Dimension Heal the Chandelure, heal off 50 damage off of myself, and then his attack will do 70 damage, but I heal 2 of it off between turns, and then I'm left with 50. And then because I have all 4 energies on this Palkia, I heal 80. So, yeah, Palkia's gonna be a big beast right now. He's kind of figuring out that he can't do anything with Chandelure, so he's gonna Outrage right now. Figuring that if I try to hit him, it'll increase the amount of Outrage damage he gets going on. So I thought about it for a second, and going back on the thing I told you guys earlier, the best thing I can do about this is strafe with this one, strafe with another one. He'll have like 110 damage on him by the time I strafe back to the active one. The hit'll hurt. It'll do like 130. But I can heal off a really good chunk of it. So his Outrage right now does 90? Is his Outrage 30 base? It could be. I don't know, but it's going to add 50 on at this point. I saw it for a split second. I feel like it's 30 base. It's not like 20 base like Reshiram. Yeah, it's 30. It's 30 plus. So, his Outrage will do 140 to me, but he's within KO range of Dimension Heal, which is ultimately what I ended up wanting. And he does get another Chandelure on the board. So if he Flare Navigated, like I feel like last turn and then the turn before that onto Kyurem just to get more damage on it, he probably could have taken me out. That would have been pretty bad too. But for now, I'm going to end out, and I'm going to put all these cards back in my deck / shuffle some stuff around. I didn't really feel the need to Super Rod, I guess. I don't know. I feel like I've got enough grass energies going on in here. And then it turns out I top deck some Prisms. So I think I just end up attaching to neither. Don't really need it. I figure I can hang on to it because of Moltres' Destructive Flame. And then I just heal off a really good chunk of that. So net damage after all of that was like 20, I think. I just healed off 80, and I killed off the Kyurem. And I just get another Rare Cane and another Snivy. If I didn't have the Virizion, I definitely would have gotten a third Serperior up by now, just to keep the healing at a really obnoxious level. This works a little bit better than Crest Serperior, because Crest is not weak to Psychic, and Mewtwo was a really big thing at the time. I don't think Crest will be doing really any better right now. I don't know. I haven't seen any decks. There's going to be one guy out there that's going to be like, Crest does good in this deck, and here's why, you colossal asshat. And the only thing I can see it maybe doing good in is like maybe a Hydreigon variant, and you put 1 in it. Outside of that, I got like nothing. I have no idea what you would do with it. Looking at the playfield right now, he starts right now finally going for Destructive Flames. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't think he has anything on the board that can KO this Palkia, like, right now. I'm just going to heal it off and just go for game. So, he's Destructive Flaming in hopes that he can get rid of my Prisms, but I have more Prisms in my hand. Even if he got 2 heads at that point, I would have attached another one on this turn. If he got it on this one, I could have just strafed for game. So, that's kind of what it came to. He didn't have any catches or anything like that. So, I take the last 2 prizes before he ends up decking out. So, I could have just passed on this turn, and yeah, so that's what happened there. That was Palkia Serperior. if you guys want to see more of that, I guess I don't know. I just kind of looked at my screen after like all of those games. After I recorded this one specifically, questioning what the hell my opponent was up to. And also questioning how I was getting away with that crap for so long. But I guess if you guys want to see it again, let me know. In the meantime, if you guys enjoyed it, leave me a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing, usual stuff. I say this a lot, and I've actually been getting less and less comments and likes. So I don't know if it's just reaching less people, or we're just not really doing anything. I mean, that's cool if you don't, but yeah. I'm still using my friend's Yeti. I'm not sure if there's a really big sound quality difference. I haven't really heard anybody commenting on it at all. But my Snowball is in the mail on the way here, the replacement one, so I'll probably do some Battle Factory with him, maybe some Battle Factory with my friend. We'll see what happens. I'm recording this on Sunday a little bit in advance. I found some free time, so I was like, let's do it. Why not? And, yeah, figure that's the main update I have going on for you guys. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye.